Welcome to the Live Compelled podcast. This is not Pastor Nate. This is Gabe. I help produce the podcast on the other side of things with the audio, and this time I messed up. Luckily, I didn't mess up our guest Mollie's microphone, but I messed up Pastor Nate's audio. And so we decided to keep it because you can still hear Pastor Nate. It's just not his great, deep, booming voice. And so we're going to jump right into it because Mollie's story is wonderful. It's great. We wanted to keep this take. And so we're going to jump right into it. Here it is, Mollie sharing her story here on the Live Compelled podcast.
I'm happy to be here. We planned this, or we wanted to plan this earlier in the year, but we're doing it now. Glad to be here. And where do you want me to start?
Well, tell everybody, introduce yourself first so everybody listening kind of knows who you are and what you are, and then we're going to jump into your story.
All right, so I'm Mollie, and I am a 28-year-old. I've been a Christ follower, and I've been going to Compelled for, I think we said, 7 or 8 years, on and off at first, but religiously the past 2 years. But and I'm a strength and conditioning coach at a facility, and I'm just gonna jump into
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm really glad to actually realize and be able to share my story, because God has been with me all my life, even before I was born. Mm-hmm. So when I was conceived, my mom was pregnant with me at 41. So that was a miracle in itself. And then I was born, we're gonna go reverse. So she was in an accident when she was 8 months pregnant with me, I think. And she, luckily she survived, but she was not badly hurt like she should have been. And probably I shouldn't have survived. So God wanted me to be born. Mm-hmm. And so I was born. I was raised Catholic. I was baptized Catholic as a baby. And but I went through Sunday school, the normal Catholic kids, they do it because they have to, but I never, picked up a Bible. I never, read the stories and parables. And so it wasn't until, and it's just, I journal a lot. And I did, I've noticed that God has saved me a lot of times, multiple times in my life. And, but so I had a stroke so I graduated high school. And when I graduated high school, I went to college. I went to college in Pittsburgh, college called Duquesne University. And I was really excited to be on my own, and just all the emotions that you feel. Like I was on a scholarship for bowling, mm-hmm. and it was the first year that Duquesne had a women's program. And so they treated us like, queens and stuff like that. And, thought I was, the big guy around town. Like, I was egotistical, maybe narcissistic. And,
Big word, narcissistic.
I mean, like, I was interesting, to say the least, in high school. But so two weeks into my freshman year, I had a hemorrhagic stroke. And so it's kind of full circle, but I'll get to that later. So it happened at 3 a.m., which so I'm going to kind of go off of a tangent a little bit. So I was reading Acts last week, and I read the lame, or the crippled man that Peter and John healed was at 3 p.m., I think. And I think it was kind of ironic that my stroke happened at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. And so when I had the stroke, so I noticed I had a numbness in my leg.
What were you doing?
So it was the first strength and conditioning workout that my team did.
For bowling?
Yes, for bowling.
You do strength and conditioning for bowling?
Yes. Because it's all.
I'm saying that out of surprise.
Yeah. No,
I
it's no. It's
didn't know that.
yeah.
Maybe
It's
that's what I need because I can't bowl.
so all D1 athletes, or it was a D1 school, and all
You're a
D1.
D1 scholarship. All right.
Yeah, I once was. So all D1 athletes, do a strength and conditioning, pre-season and season.
Okay.
So, and then, so it was the first one. Like we had no idea what we're going to do. And so I was warming up. Like I remember I was doing high knees, like picking your knees up and like the numbness happened in my thighs, or my right thigh. And so I just shrugged it off and didn't really concern myself with it. And then I felt my face droop. And in that moment, I knew that I was having a stroke. Because I recently, 2 weeks prior, saw a commercial of a basketball player's mom. She had a stroke, and he was listing the symptoms. So I knew, and I was trying to tell all the people around me that I was having a stroke, but I couldn't. Soon I couldn't write with my right hand. Pretty soon I couldn't walk because my right leg gave out. And then I tried to write it down with my left hand. I couldn't form the thought. I couldn't, I had it in my head.
So you're in the workout room, people are gathering around you, you're trying to tell them what's going on.
Yeah. So, well,
What's going on?
I'm trying to tell the athletic trainer that I'm having a stroke, but I can't. I physically, I can't. And so,
Sounds like you needed a little more training.
well, I mean, they I was so young,
That's true.
18. Yeah. So they wouldn't, even think to suggest that. And so finally one of the ATs she figured it out, and she's like, she's probably having a stroke. Let's get her to the hospital. So the campus police took me to the hospital, loaded me right in the truck, and
Hospital did you go to?
so I went to UPMC Mercy. So it's literally right, like if you reach out your arm, is right there. And like, I want to give thanks to Melissa Ebig for identifying the fact that I was having a stroke. She was the head athletic trainer at Duquesne. And like, I want to thank, the campus police and just everyone who put all that in motion. And so I was in surgery within 45 minutes, and that is really, really good for, time, especially for my stroke. So my stroke was a hemorrhagic stroke, which means that it's a brain bleed instead of a blood clot. So it's like ischemic. Yep. You had an ischemic stroke. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so I believe the statistic is 10% of people who suffer hemorrhagic strokes survive. So, it's a miracle. It's God's plan that I survived.
Well, I saw your Facebook post, because last month was Stroke Awareness Month, and of course you're active in that with Medica and stuff. I saw you trying to walk, physical therapy, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even walk.
Yeah, and that was almost
at 18.
Yeah, and that was 3 days. So I was in surgery, and then they had to put me in a medically induced coma for 2 days. And then that video was 3 days after I woke up. Wow. Yeah. So I played, as well as playing or doing bowling, I was also a soccer player in high school. So thank God I had strong legs and was able to, do that so soon.
How long was your rehabilitation journey?
So I was inpatient for 3 weeks. And then in Pittsburgh, I was in the hospital, and then I went back home to Toledo and then I was at UPMC, so the place on Arlington, and so they really helped me out. I took physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy there. And forgive me, I don't really know the names of my therapist. I'm awful with names, but my mom would know. But I especially didn't like speech and occupational therapy because I was really bad at that. I excelled in physical therapy, because I could actually physically do it and challenge myself, but the occupational and speech,
you're struggling, your speech didn't come right back.
No, I actually didn't. I said one word the whole time I was there at inpatient at Pittsburgh, and I said one. Like, I kept saying one. Like, I don't know why.
That was your word?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. Like,
O-N-E or W?
No, like one, like 1, 2, 3. Okay. I just, every time I talked, I would say one.
Were you thinking you were saying other things?
Yeah.
You thought you were talking?
Well, no, like I physically heard my voice say 1, but all I could say was 1.
And in your mind, you wanted to say more.
Yes.
Man, I didn't have that. That would be very, for a person who speaks for a living, to talk, that would be very difficult for me.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you before you began to
So
say sentences?
I was saying 1 for about a month. And then I start so a really good thing that helped me was my parents and loved ones and the nurses my mom, first of all, shout out to my mom. She was Marianne Lopez. She was so awesome with my recovery. She advocated for myself when I, couldn't, and when no one else could. She took off work. She stayed in Pittsburgh for the whole 3 weeks. And she was just so awesome.
She's pretty proud of you too.
Yeah. So I did that for a month, and then I slowly, so my mom got pictures of like friends, like people that I knew. And she would, show me and wanted me to like say their name because I already knew them. So, that helped. I mean, I didn't end up talking or saying their name at Pittsburgh, but it definitely helped my brain stimulation. But I really didn't talk in full sentences until like the end of about a year. And then I went back to college. So I went back to Pittsburgh for I took classes or half load or a half course load.
Sure.
For the first semester, and then I went for a full course load next semester. Yeah, it was. I was not looking back.
You had some determination, huh?
Yes, and I've always wondered where I got that from. People ask me, I don't have an answer, but I was just determined. But now I know that Jesus gave me the Holy Spirit. I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah. So that's the stroke story.
Wow. Let me just summarize that. So you are a D1 athlete at a school that is pretty excited to finally have ladies sports and Title IX and all that. Treated pretty well, probably pretty popular on campus. At 18, you have a stroke. All those dreams are just wiped off the map. Takes a year of rehabilitation to learn to walk and talk again. And then you head back to college. Were you frightened? Was there fear? Did you fail? Because you seem pretty determined in everything else, but I mean, that'd be pretty daunting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember fear.
You're just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I was when I went back, I was pretty independent. Yeah. So, I didn't have a car, obviously, because it was in the city. Mm-hmm. So I just walked everywhere, and that helped, with my walking and, but I was pretty independent for the most part. And I just wanted to fit in, not to, emphasize my disabilities. Yeah. But my mom gave me a recorder for class. So I could record the sessions, because that was so for those of you who, post-COVID.
Right.
So there was lectures that weren't recorded. And so yeah, so
do you live today with any deficits?
yes. So today I have on my right side, I have like my motor control, like small things I can't really do on my right hand. But I can pick up like a coin but like pinching, I can't do. Like I remember that was the one thing I hated with OT therapy, but also I mean, so it's God is so good. I'm also a power lifter, so I lift weights. I'm a trainer. I can walk, I can run, although I don't like to run. But I have my difficulties with that. So like, with my weightlifting, I have to do extra work on my right side. So to open up my shoulder, to get those my hamstrings and glutes activated, to lift, to deadlift. I have to do a lot of extra things, and I can do it, but
Once in a while, somebody that has some stroke knowledge asks me if I have any deficits. Mm-hmm. Probably Wendy is the only one that notices my deficits, but there's a lot of things I don't remember. Mm-hmm. And then my left arm feels a little heavy most of the time, which is, you get used to that. Mm-hmm. But I stutter once in a while. I never do publicly. It seems like when I'm at home in the evening, I'm getting tireder. And I'll mix up a noun here or there, but for the most part, I'm thankful for my recovery. But my stroke was very, very different than a brain bleed. Mm-hmm. Like you said, that's 10%.
Right.
And how common is it? Like, what is the percentage of 18-year-olds?
Yeah,
I've never heard of it until I met you.
Yeah. And that's the miracle of learning about other survivors and what they had to go through. But your symptoms or your deficits aren't any more valid than mine. Like, so you're probably fatigued a lot more. Like, you get tired a lot more, during the day or at night. Yes. And I know. And I know, like, I know. But you do. Right. But you do.
Double shot espresso.
Right. Yes.
Hey, we just had.
But the fact that you need to embrace it,
Right.
it's so difficult, because I know, like, I was sleeping like up to a year, 2 years, or after my stroke, I was sleeping most of the day. And I was failing, or failing at a Catholic school, or at a private school is a C, but I was having difficulty in class because I couldn't get up for class, and so that's why it was easier to transfer to UT. I graduated from UT, but and it's just.
My neurologist told me to sleep as much as you can.
Yes, yeah, you
Probably good.
yes, yeah,
Maybe not through class.
right, but it's you can't really ignore those signs.
So through all this, let's go into your spiritual journey. God is at work in your life. I mean, the tenacity you had, like you said, even before you were born. God has a purpose for your life. I believe God has a purpose for everyone's life. You get out, 18, you had a coach in bowling. Tell us how you spiritually, you're brought up in the faith. The pillars of your faith was laid in your Catholic church, with your mom's help. What is Jesus doing in your life, and how did, when that baptism day came and then you jumped in the root in, walk us through some of that.
So, as I said before, like, God has always been in my life. And throughout my life, you know, I knew of God, and that he was good, and that he was eternal, and that he was the one true God. But the thing that I struggled with was Jesus. Like, I really didn't know anything about Jesus. I knew, you know, of him, and I knew that he was important, but I really didn't know the you know, stories and the history behind Jesus. So, it wasn't until, not last year, but the year before, I went to the picnic, the compelled, summer picnic in baptism. And I thought, like, it was really cool. Like, so cool that you just, you know, are baptized in, you know, just a person's pond, you know, and it's just like that experience and watching that, like, I wanted to do that, you know, and I wanted that. I guess I wanted that freedom, but I didn't really realize how freeing it would be until I did it. So I came here 7 or 8 years ago, with this guy named Steve Jakubowski. And he was also really important in my stroke recovery. He took me to the gym, and so he said, you know, or he asked me if I wanted to go to church with him. You know, he knows this really cool guy, Nate, you know, he's really good. And I was like, why not? You know, like, I've been to, you know, a couple times Cedar Creek and stuff like that in high school, but but I was like, yeah, like, why not? Like, you're driving, so I'm, you know, it's nothing against me. So, I heard you, and I mean, for the longest time, I couldn't come to worship because I would bawl. Like, I would cry uncontrollably. And but that I was super self-conscious, like, being in a place where people are putting their hands up, and, like, I'm used to mass. Sure. And I'm used to just being small as you can, and not making a sound. And so I came on and off with him because I was living in Genoa with my mom, but I came, I lived with my dad in Toledo, so I was able to make it to compelled more often. So, but it still wasn't a priority. So, like, I would come to church sometimes I wouldn't. So then last year, the first of the year, I said, so I actually at the picnic 2 years ago, I said, okay, I want to be baptized. You know, what do I have to do to be baptized? And I thought, you know, hey, like, I'll read the Bible. Like, I'll start reading the Bible. And so I did. I read the Old Testament, which is more, you know, it's about mostly God, you know, and so I was baptized You baptized me, and also Steve baptized me. And I think I want to just take a moment and say that it's amazing that you let people, ordinary people, let them baptize you.
Sure.
And that was a emotional moment for me, and I'm guessing all of you guys.
Yeah, it was a pretty special day.
Yeah, it was. My mom was there with, flowers and a card, and my dad was there too. So it was all really special. But it wasn't until that I joined a small group in the fall that I really opened up and really let Jesus guide me. And so shout out to Lisa and Juanita for hosting the small group, and for my rooted group. Yes, yeah.
What a fantastic small group. It's 10 weeks. Transformation. Yeah.
Yeah, and those ladies, although some of them were older than me, it was life changing. Honestly, we're still in contact, and
We do it.
yeah. So and from there, it's just been I do read the Bible every day. I don't even after or before work. I make sure that I make time for the Word, and not a lot of people do that.
So Mollie, you're 28. You've been through all of these. Jesus is real. You've given him your life. You're learning. You're growing. You're professionally moving forward, and your skill set and everything. Yet you have a soft place in your heart for people that have been through strokes, and you participate, and God led you to start a small group. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I started a support group for young stroke survivors in November, and it's every third Sunday at Compelled here, and it's an hour and a half. And really, my mission in this group is to support, make a safe space for young stroke survivors. Because, the reason I didn't do it at a coffee shop or anything is because as stroke survivors, we need to, at least I needed to have a quiet, safe space where I could talk. Because if something was going on around me, I would be distracted. And so, quiet, safe space to share and share experiences and their struggles or endeavors, and it's really truly been amazing that I can facilitate. I don't feel like I'm part of the group, because I feel like I'm watching this group of people, share their experiences, and it's amazing. And because there's a member in our group who's younger than me, and she had an AVM. She had the same brain bleed. But it's just humbling. Yeah. And if you think I went through a lot, she's amazing.
What an encouragement it must be
It really is.
To have somebody say, hey, let's come to a safe spot. Let's share, talk,
Yeah.
pray together.
Yeah.
Have some friends, encourage one another.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways, as you know, you were taken out of what you love. They're taken out of their life, taken out of their jobs. I'm sure their friendship circle shrinks. Some people are very uncomfortable with some of those deficits.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be very changing or challenging. You got to be a blessing to their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wish I had the facilities or the money or to reach out to more people. We have I am starting a Facebook group page. So
Stroke survivor, I get to be
yes,
on, right?
yes. And you can come to our meetings. You're young enough.
Young.
I mean, it's like 50 and up, or 50 and but honestly, it's just because many support groups. There's not many support groups in general for strokes, and the support groups that at the hospitals, they don't know. They are pretty much like, they have the facts that a stroke survivor goes through,
Right.
but they haven't lived it. So, right.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm able to share my experiences and just makes it a whole different experience. It's positive, uplifting, supporting. Yeah.
Well, what a miracle you are. Thank God for your life and what Jesus has done in your life. And so before we go, I got one more question for you. Apart from a stroke survivor, apart from everything you've been through, and now you're a leader, and as a 28-year-old single in that age group who has decided to serve Christ, as you can see, sometimes the church is not full of your age demographic. What would you say to your peers that are wrestling with the big questions of life or faith? What would you say to encourage them to keep moving forward in some way? Is there anything you want to say? I didn't give you this question, but it's always an encouragement to me when I look out and I see people that are seeking God regardless of anything like you did. I mean, you have one friend here, and that's the only reason you came, and then Jesus. And now, of course, you know people, and you have a ministry. And what would you say to encourage your age group?
God is always with you. Yeah. I think my gift from God was faith, and I run with the blind faith that God is always with me. Whatever your trouble you're facing, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, personal, mental, personal struggles, relationship struggles, God is always with you. And let him, it's not your battle, it's our battle. So actually I had a sticky note above my light, my light switch, and I had two sticky notes. One was your quote, what is it? Love, oh my gosh. Something, love, something. This is the worst time to forget.
Okay.
Something joy, something with love and joy. Anyways, but I also had a sticky note of, it's not my battle, it's our battle. So that got me through a lot of troubled times.
Yeah, great.
So,
Oh man, I just am thankful for your story. I'm thankful that you're there to help others. Grateful for your faith. You're encouraging, and you're a miracle. God has even more. You're just beginning. The amount of people you're going to influence.
I hope so.
Encourage and empower. You're just so young. You got so much ahead of you that God's
Yeah.
going to use.
Yeah. I pray.
Excited for your life.
Yeah, I pray for just to execute God's will, every day. So
if you know anybody that is a young stroke survivor, on the third Sunday of every month, Mollie hosts a small group at Compelled Church and Temperance at 8970 Jackman Road. And you can get that information on our website at compelled.church.
mm-hmm.
And thanks.
Thank you.
For being so open and transparent.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me come on here and sharing my story. Yeah.
Well, this has been Live Compelled with Nate and Mollie McGhee, my guest. If you know anybody that would be encouraged by this, man, just hit that share button, send it out to them, subscribe, and you'll get more encouraging stories as I interview people. And appreciate you being part. Continue to live compelled by God's love.